Now, today, Cartoon Breaking News, the highlights of this channel, a new indie project called Horizonauts successfully got a Kickstarter and finally accomplished their goal of the first pilot. We talk about that, what it is, and what you expected of that indie pilot. The second highlight of the news is the fact a religious cartoon or religious studio made an anime called Gabriel and the Garden. That's sort of a surprise, looks good, but of course we talk about it, how they be what it is, and more about it. And the third highlight of the day, the excited 100 show or series of Disney is being released earlier and New Year's Day called Stugo. We talk about that and so many much things in today's Cartoon Breaking News. Of course, before I get started, I have to mention it. News today is sort of slow, so don't expect something very high maintenance or anything. This news will be sort of kind of lean back. But besides that, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, the reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, you like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. Only one of them. Of course, if you don't, that's fine. But if you do, thank you. Because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. Thank you. Now, let's get started of the first news of the day. Now, our first news of the day, I want to talk about a trailer from Angel Studios. If you don't know what's Angel Studios is basically a religious company who just does religious films or shows, but that studio is more like a Patreon for religious people. It's a company just do entertainment, but they get funds with the religious rich people to whatever they want to see in movies or theaters. But usually they don't make money. That's what I mean. They're sort of like a Patreon for religious people. They just give out money and they make the projects, and whatever project they chose, they go to the backers saying which project you want us to do, which project you want us to put in theaters or put on television or streaming. And this is how they work. And they right now on their own studio or channel on YouTube put Gabriel and the Garden, a sort of Genesis book reimagined as sort of a anime. And oh my god, I was surprised how good this actually looked. They actually put money into it. Like, if you don't know, basically Gabriel in the Garden just sort of part of a Old Testament Bible book. Of course, I'm not a religious person, so you could tell I'm not really that accurate. Please down below correct me. But other than that, it's all about just retelling sort of stories, but sort of reimagining as sort of a fantasy sort of space opera. In a way, it's all about Gabriel protecting the garden and sort of the situation he get into, even that he doesn't want to deal with anything. He just want to protect the garden, or aka the garden of God now works. You get the idea where the religious thing begins and ends. But all of that, this trailer looks really, really good. It's sort of surprising. They have thought, okay, which studio make this? It seems to me Tiger Animation. I have never heard of that company, but just sort of weird. They actually made an anime of the Bible now words, or at least one of the versions of it. But all that, it's sort of surprising because it does look well executed, but I don't know it'll be any good, because one of the biggest problems with religious anything, it becomes too cheesy, too repetitive, or just too much quoting of the Bible becoming sort of kind of boring. In fact, not just this one. They also made another trailer a couple of days ago called The King of Kings that I did mention back, I think, a couple of weeks ago of my Cartoon Breaking News. They also made a sort of the guy who created the Christmas Carol. They decided to make it his point of view of Jesus, the original king, but sort of make it religious in a way. But using sort of not as good 2D animation as this one, Gabriel's Garden, because you could tell both of them are completely different art styles, but King of Kings are sort of less well quality. But besides that, both of them are just kind of interesting how Inter Studio really try to step up the game, trying to be entertaining first, second religiously, even that sometimes that completely backfires. It's just sort of weird. In other words, it's something that I at least recommend watch the trailer because it's sort of kind of like a jarring in other words because it looks really really good, but I know it was completely fail or missed the mark. Even some religious people are wondering, it feels this could actually fail because even religious people know, yeah, this could easily be a bomb. Like they're 90% confident this kind of misfire, but it depends how they approach it. But I don't know, you have you heard of a Gabriel's Garden? Are you interested in that? Be honest, I'm not, because I'm not religious or care about the Bible. So it's just sort of weird to me, and I'm also fascinated how each specific sort of company or sort of whatever faction you belong to tries to do their own anime or entertainment. I always found it fascinating. Who knows? Maybe by accident I watch it and maybe review it, but something that I just don't care, but I found it fascinating. In other words, but I don't know you. Are you excited of this or not? Or are you excited the one also King of Kings? Tell me down below, let me know. And let's talk about the next news of animation. Now, our next news actually is from Twitter/X from DTVVA News. It's sort of a very reliable fan website who actually do report a lot of animation news from Disney. And they post Pen World is actually working on a next animated project from Disney. If you don't know who Pen Ward, it's a guy who created Adventure Time. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he actually not working with Disney for right now. Everything is a hush hush, but we don't know what he's creating because let's face it, Pen, he's very creative, very imaginative, very outgoing. I think Disney is a perfect company for him, but at the same time don't know allow him to be very very weird because let's face it, Adventure Time success is all thanks to Cartoon Network will let him do whatever he wants in Adventure Time. Remember the very beginning, Adventure Time supposed to be a Nickelodeon studio project, and Nickelodeon didn't like the project and they wanted to change so many things. The very end, he got lucky and saved by Cartoon Network buying the rights and remaking the show his own way in Cartoon Network. And the rest is sort of history because you know that thing blew up hugely. Now you have a bigger company, a lot of money in the pockets, and Penn, very creative. They leave him alone to do whatever he wants. The guy can create something very fun, very unique, very fantastic. Of course, for right now, we don't have enough information what he's working on, but yet I am truly excited because of Penn, he can easily make a new era of animation, a new golden era of basically Disney, or a new Disney or new animation era if he given a chance to go crazy, whatever project he chooses to make. But once more, you don't know this kind of things. Sometimes it's something very small, a mini series, or could be maybe a one season deal, 20 seasons. We don't know. It could be anything. But yet, I am super excited. I don't know you. Are you excited of Penn working on Disney? Or you one of a few people are scared that Disney will sort of kind of silence him and kill his creativity? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Now our next news is from Kazuka posting that a new anime will come out on 2025 on Crunchyroll called Night of the Living Cat. It's a sort of anime series. It's sort of a kind of horror comedy focusing on what you thought what the title says. It basically cats take over the world. Basically, it's sort of a virus about cats. But the only difference is you don't only get the virus if you get cuddles. Like you have the urge to pet a cat or snuggle it. If because of that, you become a cat. You transform of it. Of course, this is sort of a kind of like comedy dark show about that. And the trailer really shows that. It's really fun, kind of clever, outrageous idea that you can survive of the day of everything becoming cat. And yes, there is a lot of cat puns because I try to read synopsis, what the character is, and everything. They cannot stop doing cat puns. So yeah, expect a lot of cat puns in this series. But yet it looks kind of ridiculous and fun. But at the same time, I'm kind of worried this could be maybe tiring after you keep hearing the 37 cat pun, but we don't know. I had never read the series. I just read the synopsis and the trailer. And you know what? It looks kind of fun and interesting. I probably watch it just to see what's up. Especially I like horror. Especially they do not in the original Night of the Living Dead original zombie flick became zombies very popular because of that original film. It just sort of not to that. And I hope this anime it's good. A lot of people put on their list of the best anime of 2025. Let's see what happens. Hopefully they can actually execute this. Of course, the same company did work and not the same company. The director also worked on Pokemon, and basically that's it. That's all really is. So it could be a sort of adventure, kind of sweet life, trying not to die or become cats this way. But now I don't know you. Have you seen the trailer on Crunchyroll? You are actually excited about this. To me, yeah, I kind of want to see it to see what's up. This could be very, very funny at least, or it could be tiring at the very end. We just don't know. Hopefully it's good. Tell me your thoughts down below. If you've seen it or read the manga, tell me the manga is actually any good. Tell me down below, let me know. Now let's talk about the next animation news of the day. Now this is not news, it's sort of a fun fact canon information that a lot of people didn't know it was a thing, even that it was sort of obvious showing in the show. If you didn't know, a Twitter account called probably Maple points out something that only hardcore fans of basically Gravity Falls knows about. That basically Northwest dog, if you see the photo, how she took the photo, it's the same dog that Maple milked. Yes, this is canon. This happened and it showed in the show, but nobody realized this till now, at least not the normies who only watched the show but never really read the context, the clues, or the little fun facts about it. And a lot of people are tripping balls, and they actually have a comment, a very old comment, pulling that out. You made me see this comic that Maple drinking milk, realizing the milk come from her dog because Maple milked that dog. And that's just sort of hilarious. A lot of people were sort of tripping balls, not knowing this actually was a thing. But believe me, it was a thing. I'm surprised nobody, well, not nobody. I mean, I guess only the hardcore Gravity Falls fans knew about this, or at least semi knew about this, because there's a lot of comments here not really knowing how to deal with this information. They're just memeing, like freaking out. Wait, this is real? This is canon? Yeah, that is canon. It's just sort of funny how everybody just kind of like freaked out, like, wait, they get away with this from Disney? Because Disney, if you don't know, Disney are very strict. It's probably the only company so like over exaggeration. If you do a sort of text on your own Twitter account, then you actually get fired because you connected to Disney. Even not let you take photos inside the company or even in the studio park. If you work there, you take a photo without their permission, there's small chance that you actually get fired because you took a photo with a princess or something like that. They don't want any shady things, so they make sure they get rid of any bad kind of backlash now, or a lot of bad things that people think would happen. They try to do everything again to stop that. Even that obvious kind of fails. So it's one of those things that just fall in the cracks without them knowing this is actually a thing. It's sort of a joke for fans if you want to go that far. But other than that, do you know about this? Do you know this sort of thing? Or you actually seen the comic not knowing this was actually a thing? Because that was a comic, a fan-made comic pointing that out to many people, people were not really realizing this was actually canon in the series. And something that sort of, if you know, you know, that sort of meme, like the people who know who people actually do know. And I think that's the best way to describe it, because nobody really knew this was a thing, only if you're a hardcore fan. It's just sort of fun to see how people react to this. I don't know you, did you know? Tell me down below, let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Okay, another one, a fun fact that come out from Hanna-Barbera Screen Cap. If you don't know that channel basically leaks information about Hanna-Barbera cartoons or projects, because this specific channel on Twitter/X is actually work in the industry. That's why sometimes they do leak some things. But other than that, they drop something very interesting. Something that I always wanted to talk about, but the only problem is it's sort of hard to talk about if you're not, I don't know, a hardcore Hanna-Barbera person or a Latino, because everybody knows about Amigo and Friends. And yes, if you're Latino, you roll your eyes out, because that title is just so kind of stupid. But let me explain. It's one of those anime series done by Hanna-Barbera. This cartoon was so popular, it's just mind-blowing. Even the person you see in the very middle, called Cantinflas, that's the sort of his stage names, that he was so popular. Whatever he put his name of a script for a movie, it instantly become a hit. That he was that popular. In fact, Cantinflas, how to describe him to get a better idea, he's sort of a Chris Tucker before Chris Tucker was a thing, because he is sort of ghetto, double talker, and a quick thinking his feet on the moment. That's the best way to describe his acting talent, his performance of every single character he plays in his own old black and white films. And one day he decided to make a cartoon with Hanna-Barbera, and it automatically exploded because it's Cantinflas. But this is the fun, interesting part, at least two things. He is one of the rarest famous actors who made a cartoon. It did not ruin his career, and two, that his cartoon blew up here in the United States. It also make a good celebrity cartoon. It sounds weird, because every time a celebrity cartoon was made, the celebrity career destroys. Cantinflas never did. The second thing, it blew up here in the United States, is that sort of kind of strange, but it also kind of mind-blowing to show you how well quality this actually was, at least in the, I think it was the 70s, I'm not really sure, but you get the idea. But besides that, they're also kind of mind-blowing is the fact, the title. This is admit, if you're Latino, you roll your eye out, because Amigo and Friends is sort of a mistranslation. It's something that's just so hilarious, so eye-rolling, that you're wondering, who thought this okay? If you don't know what amigo means, it's basically saying friend in Spanish. So you're saying friend and friend. So yeah, if you're Latino, you roll your eyes out like, who decided to thought this was okay? Sounds like a Chicano move or a Mexican move, because Chicanos and Mexicans have the same sort of habit, misspelling sort of things. The Mexican way is sort of different. They added an English word to sound more kind of American-ish, or sound like, ooh, this is from the gringo side. So, ooh, the English word or one word, or something like, give it a little more shine, a little more spit shine outwards, something to stand out if you live in Mexico. But in America, Chicanos have a habit of making up Mexican words that are not really Mexican words, or saying both words at the same time, but just saying English and Spanish at the same time. That's sort of a Chicano thing by accident. It happens if you do speak both languages. Doesn't matter which language you speak. It doesn't matter you speak French in English or Japanese in English. Sometimes you have to have it saying the same thing twice by accident. But I don't know, this was on purpose for Chicanos or by accident, but it's sort of kind of cringy and kind of funny. It's sort of kind of weird, but all of that. What is this cartoon? Well, it's basically is Cantifas, our main lead. He's just basically introduced the world, the cultures, and the fun things you find around the world. That's basically the whole idea in a way. He kind of time travels. Think of it sort of Pig Bite and Sherman in a way, but not really. It does his own thing. But you get the least general idea. It's one of those, it's one of the best cartoons from Mexico. And that says a lot because Mexican people do not have good cartoons. Not because they don't want to, is it because nobody really want to risk paying for cartoons only if you're celebrity. Even that only lasts one season and that's it. And everybody forget about it. Except for Cantinflas and Friends. Or Amigo and Friends, and the Americans supposed to say it. Once again, it's sort of weird saying that, but it's one of those like a miracle just happened, or because Cantifas, he's just a professional and he pulls it off. Of course, a lot of people are memeing about this. This is sounding ridiculous. This is like the same thing, like a Spider-Verse. That T joke, that chai beats tea, where you say T twice. Don't worry, that's pretty normal where you speak both languages. It just sort of sometimes happens. But other than that, that's sort of the running gag. In fact, I recommend go to this channel. They do show you the intro of the original, who is the actor. Some of the fans just explain a lot of things if you didn't know or want more explanation about this, but it's still a really good show from Hanna-Barbera and also Cantinflas. On top of this, fun fact, his son was sort of arguing to get his rights back to this show because this is a father's show, his show. And he sort of lost it, but he sort of sued the company who owned sort of the rights to get it back. It was a sort of a kind of like a big show back in Mexico. Now he has the rights to re-show it and keep the money from the show. In other words, it's sort of a huge weird thing happened in Mexico, but it's something if you know, in other words. But out of that, do you know this was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon? Do you know who was Cantinflas is? Tell me down below, let me know. Hopefully this sort of have a little fun fact animation news in the middle of everything. Now let's talk about the next animation news of the day. Now, this is from all the Villains fans news. I decided to just put it here because it's not really that big, but yet sort of interesting, is that the creator, Alan, decided to actually finally play the game of this fan-made Villains game that he downloaded, but he never had the time to play or talk to basically the fans. So he decided to put a date and time to put it on basically Twitch and actually talk about the whole thing. He put it on basically on Thursday, be at 5 o'clock Mexican Center time, and hopefully he played the game and asked maybe a few questions if he can. But other than that, that's all it was. Just sort of a playthrough through the game. He also see how Alan tempted to talk English because yeah, Alan can talk English, but he has his kind of accent. Like he has more stronger accent than me, but you get the idea. But it's sort of fun because the guy is a very funny guy. He does have a funny personality. He also trying to understand the game because the game is sort of not perfect. It's meant for fans by fans, but it's something that's just sort of there to play. If you want to know what it is the game was playing, it's basically sort of a RPG Maker fan-made game of Villainous. It's basically Dr. Flood escaping from Black Cat's house, but he only has a couple tries to do it. But he has sort of kind of fun little Easter eggs if you know of the basically the what's the word I'm looking for? The lore, in other words. And that's basically it. But of course, if I found something interesting or something to talk about that stream, because I have to be truthful, I'm not yet seeing the stream. I see pieces of it. I probably will watch it. If I find something interesting, I will make probably a video, but I highly doubt it. But something, if you're a fan, I have a link on my community tab. You want to see basically the channel on Twitch. I think he left the video there, the 2 hours he plays a plate set. If you want to see what he says or what he does on that game, it's just a FYI if you actually watch the stream. Now let's talk about the next news of the day. Now, our next cartoon news is actually from Cartoon Empire, posting of season 3 of new image of Invisible be released, and also the day and year will come out on Invisible season 3. Will be February the 6th, the 2025 on Bestie sorry, I'm stuttering here. Prime Video. There we go. But people who don't know, this is sort of a confirmed season 3. But even that you don't know, sometimes greenlight doesn't mean greenlight. Even that it was greenlight season 3 and season 4 has been officially greenlight. That been a little while. They actually are working on it. But sometimes you have to take that as sort of a kind of like a maybe, in other words, because greenlit doesn't mean greenlit. This is sort of the official greenlit. Yeah, we are working on it. We are close to finishing. This is a real thing, because sometimes they mention it. Oh yeah, has to be greenlit. Is it official or not official, or sort of is it kind of iffy? In other words, you can't really take it serious. Then you finally see the trailer, because when they do this, they just disappear sometimes. That's to sort of let you know this is sort of the official green light. Yeah, we are working on it. We hopefully you finish it in time, and etc. But other than that, are you excited of Invisible season 3? Are you hyped for it or not? Or you forgot this is a thing because what happened of last season, because they don't release a few episodes and they have a hiatus for like 4 months, I guess, and they come back, but the hiatus took too long and the momentum of the hype sort of killed it a little bit. This is the reason why season 2 did not hit as hard as season 1, and sort of this is a complaint. Hopefully they fix that, because sometimes organizing how this actually could work is very difficult, because you're working as a team, especially your team is in different countries. Order them, okay, what you're done, when it's missing, how you work this, then we put this end time. Can we need to switch some episodes because other episodes are not done because something did happen? Once again, it's complicated. Everything could go wrong, should go wrong. That's usually the issue. But other than that, are you excited, hyped, or you kind of forgot this exists? Tell me down below, let me know. Let's talk about the next animation news of the day. Now, our next news is from, again, Cartoon Empire on the Twitter/X, posting of the nominations of the Saturn Award. If you don't know what's going on here, this is sort of the kickoff of the Oscars, in a way that whatever happens here, you could reflect who will probably win and the Oscars, but at the same time reflect what time an animated project was selected to be chosen in the win the Oscars, or the sort of line of different awards coming up to it. Now, if that makes sense, in other words. But some of the nominations is basically Boar in the Harem, that is sort of a Ghibli film that 100% sure is a contender, because possibly, you have to put possibly here, this is sort of Miyazaki's last film, if you believe it, because it's sort of a meme of a meme, because every anime fan makes a joke. Yeah, this is it. This is the point that Miyazaki will retire and he will come back once again because he has another idea. But hopefully this is the end. This is his foot down. This is his last film, because supposedly this film is amazing. So if he wins, I'll be not surprised, because it's that good. So you also have Despicable Me 4, that automatically it's out, because that movie is not good. The best way to describe it, Despicable Me 4 is sort of TikTok if you wanted to make a animated movie. This is basically the TikTok movie. It's because each single person has about kind of like a minute gag, and they just change it up. The next person, change the next person. You don't get attached to no one. So it's sort of obvious this is sort of not going to win. It'd be basically nominated, but not going to win. Now, the third runner-up is sort of Inside Out 2. That automatically will be on the party top 2, top 3 fighting for the Oscars, because Inside Out 2 was very, very good. But the only problem is it's sort of retracking same ideas. It sort of broke the rules of Pixar. The reason why they break it, because they're kind of desperate for cash, and they realize, oh, we have to make money, so we decide to make sequels, because Pixar has sort of kind of rule to not make a sequel only if you think it's a good idea. You have a very unique idea. This is the reason why Toy Story, the first movie of Pixar, took so long to make a sequel, because they didn't want to make a sequel, but yet they come up with a very smart way to make a sequel, and this is the reason why they make it. The only reason they're breaking it is the fact Disney is sort of forcing them. It also, they lost John Lasseter. On top of this, new leadership, half of the whole team of Pixar left, so you can see how they started scrambling to figure out how to make Pixar again. So this is the reason why it's sort of a successful movie, but also could say some people were sort of unsatisfied because it wasn't, it could feel like an original idea. I feel retrained some ideas. But once again, it's up to you how you felt about this. In fact, you think Inside Out 2 could be the winner or at least a contender? Tell me down below, let me know. The fourth category is basically Kung Fu Panda 4. Automatically, no. A nominee, yes. But a win, not really. Because nobody liked Kung Fu Panda 4. Because it didn't have an identity. It just made a further stomach because DreamWorks were kind of desperate. It's something like it's understandable it was sort of nominated because all the people who have kids know about this, so this is the reason why they nominated. But you get the idea. It's just sort of courtesy, in other words. You also had Spy X Family Code White. That is sort of a interesting idea for the show becoming a movie. It's still a good movie, but at least better than Kung Fu Panda 4 and To the Biscuit Me 4. It's sort of above it. It's a really good film. Of course, I'd be surprised if it wins it, but I highly doubt it. My money is still on Boring and Harem or Inside Out 2. Now, you also have Transformers 1. That's the one that I don't know he can actually win. I mean, it's one of those that really is a good film. It still had a lot of flaws, but at least, in my opinion, it's sort of one up Inside 2, but I don't think it pushed off Boring and Harem, because Boring and Harem is deep. It's layered. It's the type of film you have to rewatch multiple times to really get it. To be fair, Transformers 1 is the best Transformer movie. Even got screwed over by the promotion people because they didn't know what to do. Now, the last film is the one that I kind of agree to many people. The Wild Robot and Boards and Hammer. This the two is pretty much neck and neck because both films are very good. Like, I will not be surprised if Wild Robot wins or the Boy and the Hero wins. Either or one or the other. In fact, which film do you believe will win? Or you, like me, thinking is between Boys and Harem or Wild Robot? Because those are the two films I believe earn the status to be nomination and win the award, even Oscar worthy on the list. They should be at least nominated because they are that good. I do understand me Transformers 1 or Inside 2, but the rest are just sort of, I guess, just sort of courtesy. Yeah, you made it, you're here, and that's it. But they're not gonna win. Usually, I'm sort of mixed with Boys and Harem, Wild Robot, and Transformers 1 and Inside 2. That's the only contenders I believe kind of have a chance, but my money is the Boys and Harem and Wild Robot. That's the only I believe could win the award. But I don't know how you think about this. Which of you think should win, who could win, or you're not sure who should be the winner? Tell me down below, let me know. Now let's talk about the next animation news of the day. Now, our next cartoon news is from Ashley, the fan website DTVA News. They're posting something very interesting. The Stugo that you maybe heard me talk about a couple of weeks ago of the last cartoon news. There actually was a surprisingly sneak peek first episode on June the 1st at 8 o'clock. 8:50 o'clock. That's sort of on New Year's Day, in other words, or New Year's Eve, in other words. It would be sort of a sneak peek of the two first episodes. Of course, the regular schedule is actually June the 11th of 2025 at 8 p.m. But you want to sneak peek at least the first two episodes, or first episode is on the January the 1st of New Year's day, in other words, or eves, but in on 8:15 p.m. If you are interested on Disney Channel, of course. Some of you are not sure what Stugo is. If you've not seen the last news I talked about, Stugo is sort of the special 100 show that Disney made in animated series. This is the celebration. This is the one they plus all the work they did in animation, and they went big. This time they were not screwed up. They chose the right project to number it 100 in the studio, because Stugo, it's just crazy because the trailer has come out. If you see the trailer, I was sort of surprised how fun and weird it really is. Even that a lot of people were kind of excited because they knew this was a 100 show, but not sure what to expect because of the designs and the strangeness of this. Now, the whole idea of pitch of it, especially Stugo, is sort of a kind of secret organization who wants to actually get middle schools in the island, and this island has a lot of strange things, but basically controlled by this sort of scientist who is basically kind of like Dr. Moreau, that sort of island of strange creatures being fused by humans and creatures. Imagine that as the doctor of this show. Not the same character, but I feel it was sort of inspired by that. But it feels the whole trailer or project or pitch feels very fun and creative, especially you watch the trailer, because the trailer feels something from the probably 50s or 40s, sort of Godzilla, sci-fi, stuck in an island, a bunch of creatures, or basically mushrooms trying to kill you, you become giants. I feel every science fiction trope, but done in sort of an animation. And yes, I am here for it, because the trailer sold me. This could be a very fun ride. Even the animation, not the animation, the character design was sort of kind of dull. At least I saw the first character designs, but when I see it, how they're trying to pull it off, I understood what they're trying to do. They wanted to do that sort of 50s or 40s or maybe 60s sort of kind of 1950 B style of horror sci-fi. And you know what? It totally nails it. It's just sort of crazy. It seems just nuts and fun, because if you don't know, B type of horror or just horror in general works super well in animation. But the only problem is animation is super expensive. Well, every time they do horror in an animation, it's just very good. It blows up because people are hungry of horror animation. There are not a lot. If you do a bad horror animation, people still show up because the visual itself seldom, because it's rare to see a horror show. Once in a while you do get it, but once again, it takes a long time to someone to do one because they're not sure this is the right thing for the company or for the project. And that's sort of the problem. The politics, how can you make this still PG but yet make it true to the genre? And Stugo feels that nailed that perfectly. This could be a new era or could be an old era. We don't know, but I'm here for it because I am totally excited. Hopefully I can watch it, hopefully I can review it, but I don't know you. Are you excited? Are you hyped for this? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next animation news of the day. Now, this is sort of fun facts, not official news, but this is from Ashley Hollywood Handle, pointing out Shaggy is canon in the DCU in the Creature Commander anime series first 2 episodes, because Shaggy doesn't appear in the background of one of the characters. But at the same time, this version of Shaggy has a blonde hair and the original Shaggy is a brunette. But other than that, that's a sort of slight differences, but you have to admit this Shaggy is way better than the Vilma Shaggy, so this is still beyond better. It's sort of fun because everybody's sort of memeing about this because they're having a great time watching this series. A lot of people putting like Shazam kind of jokes about how Shaggy and Velma make Shazam. Every time they say it, they become Shaggy and Velma. Or they use other memes about how Shaggy always the strongest one, or only one who destroy everyone. It makes sense he reappears because 1% of the power. Others just saying other memes like the "I always been there." They do not really actually realize it. The true astronauts memes. Yeah, a lot of little things, little gimmicks about Shaggy, and everybody's so thrilled because it seems the first couple episodes was a banger. This is just sort of an add-on of the fandom because I heard no one complaining about the creature commanders, but be sure I have not yet seen it. I'm just been too busy. But who knows? Maybe I do a review later on, or maybe a theory. I'm not sure. See what happens. Maybe I come up with something or nothing. But other than that, how you having fun with creature commandos? Tell me down below. Let me know how you felt about it. Now let's talk about the next news of the day. Now, this news is from Twitter/X from the Lost Media. Now, remember what I told you last week or last week about Chicken Little sort of found footage of the sequel movie of Chicken Little? Well, they finally leaked the sort of part of the pilot of Chicken Little is about the alien reappearing back of the original film with Chicken Little, but it only is about like a minute and 30 seconds without no audio or anything, but just sort of give you an idea what this pilot could actually be. If you didn't know what's going on and not remember last week, basically there was sort of leakage about a lot of little things of Chicken Little that they believe Chicken Little would be a big thing. They were prepping up a movie, a TV series, and many other things. But at the very end, they decided to cancel it and move forward instead of filming the film. Imagine that the different future of Chicken Little was a thing failed and Phoenix First were never made. Yes, it's sort of weird, but it's something you at least know that actually is more stuff coming out from this sort of canceled project. Because sometimes you really don't get this information. The reason why it's leaked is because sort of the leaker, there'll be two different huge mega leaks, and this is sort of the second mega leak they stole information from Disney, and for a little while they were leaking like boarding stories, plot synopsis, or little things like that in the series. And this is probably the biggest one they have found next to basically the Tensionaire sequel prequel series. Yeah, that was also a thing. But other than that, do you know this was a thing or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. And that's basically it of this sort of leak pilot, at least the first minute. Now, do you know about it? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next animation news of the day. Now, our final news of the day is from Kickstarter that a new animated indie project was almost completely funded. Their main goal was basically 30,000 to do the indie pilot. Successfully passed. They still have 7 days doing this recording on Thursday, but you still have 7 days. Of course, I would drop this on Wednesday, so it'll probably have 2 days left or 1 more day left if you want to fund this project. But other than that, that's still good news. They have enough to at least finish the first pilot. Now, what is the Horizonauts? I know I butchered it, I'm sorry, but what is this project is about, or what you're gonna come up from? It's basically a kind of group attack of bunny hunters who basically are kind of like Ocean 11, a bunch of group of people who attempted to rob things or basically have sort of odd jobs that's sort of hard to do, or the toughest and the most craziest people to actually do it from outer space. That's sort of the pitch, but you do follow the main lead new rookie doing this job, understanding the characters and what to do and survive in this sort of situation. And all this project is just sort of hijinks. What if your job, whatever crazy assignment you're supposed to do, always goes wrong? And that's sort of the pitch and the entry of this indie. Believe me, I highly recommend at least watch the sort of test footage because this looks very high production. This looks super good. Of course, you have to wait the pilot to come out. Hopefully they accomplish their basically storyline, but all of that, that's good for indie. More indie projects get successful, allow them to do at least a pilot, they can have enough to do another episode. But once more, this is step at a time, and I hope more indies will be equally as successful. Now, do you know about this animated project? Tell me down below, let me know. If not, at least you know. Now that's the only last news of the day. Thanks for watching, and please tell me, did I miss any cartoon news you believe is sort of necessary to talk? Tell me down below, let me know. I got nothing else to say, just thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye.